good morning to all of you. Myself Ankit Vyas, and today we are going to discuss about a key subject about a subject that is known as in system administration. So, students, here we are going to discuss with the Microsoft Windows first, right? So, let us have a look on the key terms related to the Microsoft Windows, right? On this session, we will also cover the evolution of the Windows, right? And 1 to 10 year of the Windows will also cover. Well, students, I hope you are well familiar with these two faces, right? That yes, who was the founder of the Microsoft Windows operating system, right? So it has nine. Generally, Microsoft Windows has nine major versions since it first releases in 1985, right? Over 29 years later, Microsoft Windows looks very different, but somehow familiar with the elements that have survived the test of time, increases computing power, and most are recently a shift from keyboard and mouse to the touch screen, right? So these two faces, I hope you all are well familiar with these two faces. On the left side, on the immediate left side, we have Mr. Bill Gates, right, who was initially headed the Microsoft Corporation, right, and presently that Mr. Nadella, Mr. Satya Nadella, right, Nadella is an Indian basically, so he is leading as in Chief Executive Officer, that is CEO at Microsoft Corporation. So let us discuss about the various versions of an Windows operating systems. That is how we start the Windows, or initially which version of an Windows operating system is being used. So let us start very first, that we have Microsoft Disk Operating System, which is known as an CMD, or we called it DOS as well. Then we have Windows 1, Windows 2, Windows 3, 3.1. Then we have Windows 95. Then we have 98. We have Windows ME, Windows 2000. Post that we have Windows XP, which was one of the best operating system in my own perspective. Then after we have Windows Vista. Then we have Windows 7. Then we have 8. 8 has two versions: Windows 8, Windows 8.1, and right now we are working with Windows 10 operating system. Let us start with the Microsoft Disk Operating System, which is also known as a console, or which is also known as an that which see generally what happens as students, that if we are talking about the any operating system, so they generally provide us an interfaces. Interfaces is somewhere a kind of place where we are using their features, right? So we have two kind of interfaces if you are talking about the Windows, right? We have character user interface, we have graphical user interface. So if you are talking about the Microsoft DOS, so that Microsoft DOS comes under the character user interface. It means if we are going to perform any activity, right? So for that we need to type the textual command, then only we are able to you know see that yes, what action can be taken in terms of that particular command, right? So initially it is being launched for the IBM compatible personal computers, right? Initial version of DOS was very simple and resemble another operating systems called CP/M. Subsequent versions have become increasingly sophisticated as they incorporate features of microcomputer operating systems, right? So we have two Microsoft founders. One is co-founder Paul Allen, that is in left side, right, and we have Bill Gates basically. Uh, so there is the this was a young image of Mr. Gates. Let's talk about the Windows one. So guys, for your convenience, I have been shown the appearance of Windows. That is how it looks like, right? So if you are talking about the Windows one, so this is where it all for the Windows. Original Windows one was released in November 1985 and was Microsoft's first true attempt at a graphical user interface in 16-bit. So initially, see, as I have already discussed about the interfaces, that we have character user interfaces, we have graphical user interfaces. So if you're talking about the graphical user interfaces, so initially Windows N 1 has been launched, and the appearance, the view, the look of the Windows 1 I have been already mentioned over the screen, so you just find it out from there. After 2 years of Windows 1, Microsoft Windows 2 replaced in December 1987. The big innovation for Windows 10, Windows 2 was that Windows Cloud overlap each other, and it also introduced the ability to minimize or maximize Windows, increased of inconcising or zooming feature it can have. The appearance I have already mentioned within the slide. Later on, we have Windows 3, the first Windows that required a hard drive, launched in 1990. Windows 3 was the first version to see more widespread success and be considered challenger to Apple's Macintosh. Apple's corporation, I hope you all are aware about the Apple corporation, that Mr. Steve Jobs was the founder of Apple, right? And if you're talking about the Apple OS, right, so generally we are using Macintosh, Apple Macintosh, and the uh, Commodore Amiga graphical user interface, that is CAGUI, coming pre-installed on computers from PC compatible manufacturers including Jonith Data System. So this is how Windows 3 looks like, students. This is how Windows 3 desktop look like. It contains all the buttons inside, right? So as we have already seen that there was a minimize button, there was the optimal zoom button, and at least the sum of total human time wasted. So it introduced the card moving, time sync, and mouse use as a trainer. Windows 3 has their own co-version, that is Windows 3.1, 3.1, right? Windows 1 and 2 both had point releases updates, but Windows 3.1 release in 1992 in notable because it introduced two type font, making Windows a variable publishing platform for the first time, right? So Minesweeper also made its first appearance. Windows 3.1 required 1 GB of RAM to run and allowed it supported MS-DOS programs to be controlled with a mouse or for a first time. Windows 3.1 also also the first Windows to be distribution on a CD-ROM. Although once installed on a hard drive, it only looks up to 10 to 15 MB. A CD typically stores up to 700 MB of the data. So, students, such a coincidence that yes, as the name implies, Windows 95 is arrived in August 1995, and with it brought the first ever start button and the start menu. It also introduced the concept of the plug and play. Connect the peripherals and operating systems, find the appropriate drivers, and it makes it work, right? That was an idea. It didn't always work in a practice. Internet Explorer was also made its debut on Windows 95, but was not installed by default, requiring the Windows 95 Plus pack. Later revisions of Windows 95 include IE by default at, as Netscape navigators, NCSA, Mosaic were popular at the time. Suppose that we have Windows 98, it releases in June 1998. Again, such a coincidence. One is August 1995, another one is 1998 of June. Windows 98 built in Windows 95 and brought with IE4, Outlook Express, Windows Address Book, Microsoft Chat, and NetShow Player, which was replaced by Microsoft Media, Windows Media Player 6.2 in Windows 98, and second edition is 1999. USB supports was much improved in Windows 98 and led to its widespread addition including USB hubs and USB mice. We have Windows ME released in September 2000. It was the consumer aimed operating systems Twinned with Windows 2000, aimed at the enterprise market, it introduced some important concepts to consumers, including more automated systems recovery tool, IE 5.5, Windows Media Player 7, and Microsoft Windows Movie Maker all made their appearance for the first time in Windows 7 ME operating system. Sorry, Windows ME operating system. Then we have Microsoft Windows 2000. The Enterprise Twin ME Windows 2000 was released in February 2000 and was based on Microsoft Business Oriented Systems, Windows NT, and later becomes the basis of Windows XP. Microsoft automatic updating played an important role in Windows 2000 and because the first Windows to support uh, hibernation, right? So I hope you all are aware about the hibernation, that what exactly the hibernation. Oh wow, such a powerful operating systems in my own opinion, Windows XP, right? Windows XP was released in October 2001 and brought Microsoft Enterprise line in a consumer line of the operating system under one roof. Windows XP was the longest running Microsoft operating system, seeing three major updates and support up until April 2014, 13 years from its original release date. Its biggest problem was security. Though it had a firewall built in, it was turned off by default. So, for your convenience, I have already mentioned the finest sky wallpaper appeared desktop for your kind information that yes, this is how that Microsoft Windows XP looks like. We have Windows Vista. Windows XP stayed the course of close to 6 years before being replaced by Windows Vista in January 2007. Vista updated the look and feel of Windows with more focus on transparent elements, search and security. PC games saw a boost from Vista inclusion of Microsoft DirectX 10 technology. Microsoft Windows Vista include Microsoft Windows Media Player 11, IE7 debut, along with the Windows Defender and anti-spyware program. Vista also includes speech recognition, Windows DVD Maker, and photo gallery. Another best operating system in my own experience, Windows 7, it was first released in October 2009. It was intended to fix all the problems, criticism faced by Vista. It was faster, more stable, and easier to use, becoming the operating system most users and businesses would upgrade to from Windows XP. Windows 7 was everything Windows Vista should have been, right? And now I was very much afraid about it that Microsoft has stopped providing support and services for Windows 7 operating system. But yes, anyways, I'm also using Windows 7 as an operating system in my one device, and I was regularly go through it. We have more handy or a kind of we can say that yes, that is quite applicable for a kind of mobile devices or for some touch panel devices, that is Windows 8, which is released in October 2012. Windows 8 was Microsoft's most radical overhauls of the Windows interface, ditching the start button and the start menu in favor of a more touch-friendly start screen, right? So the appearance of Windows 8 operating system I have been mentioned for your convenience. Wow, we have Windows 8 Pro upgraded. See, it generally provide us an upgraded interface and which displayed at a glance information normally associated with weighted, right? Replace the list of programs and icons. A desktop was still includes, which resembled Windows 7. Windows 8 was faster than previous versions Windows and included support for a new, much faster USB 3.0 devices. That's all. Windows 8 has again it has their a kind of one more version, that is Windows 8.1 A free point release to Windows 8 introduced in October 2013. Windows 8.1 marketed as shipped towards yearly software updates from Microsoft and included the first step in Microsoft U-turn around its new visual interface. Windows 8.1 reintroduced the Start button, which brought up to start a screen from the desktop view of Windows 8.1. Users could also choose to boot directly into the desktop of Windows 8.1. So let us proceed to the Windows 10. That yes, Windows 10 it is being announced in August, September 2014. Windows 10 has only been released as a test version for keen users to try. The technical review is very much still a work in progress. Windows 10 represents another step in Microsoft U-turn, bringing back the Start menu and more balanced traditional desktop computer user, and it generally provides us the kind of mobile view so that we can have the same mobile type of access in our desktop, so that we'll receive in Windows 10 operating system. Microsoft Windows 10 looks like it's a new operating system. Microsoft has put a U form on its relevant of the PC, ditching Windows 8 and creating something that prints the old Windows with the new. Windows 10 is the next version of Microsoft's Windows computer software for tablets, desktops, laptops, and the smartphone, which brings back the start menus. Move on to the start menu. See, user about such substance. The start menu is back. Clicking the start button, bringing up the menu, which although isn't exactly the same as Windows 7 or those before, it is more familiar than the full screen tiled interface of Windows 8. This should be much more useful in desktop users, but the tiled interface from Windows 8 is the tagged on the side. Windows 10 attempts the blend of the best of the Windows 7 with the Windows 8. One of the smartest thing Microsoft has ordered is Continuum, which detects the state of the computer and presents the right interface depending on whether a keyboard and mouse is being used or the screen is being touched. So that is how it looks like in the appearance which I have been shown for your convenience. Here in Windows 10 we have one Windows for all the devices. Microsoft has take a lot about Windows being more than simply desktop computer software. Windows 10 is meant to unify the desktop PC, Windows tablets and Windows phones, smartphones with one interface, one way of opening an account at one account. So that is how it looks like, that I have pictorially represent for your convenience. Microsoft Windows 10 has universal apps along with one Windows for all devices idea. Microsoft is publishing what is called Universal Windows App, which is the new name for apps downloaded from the Windows stores. The idea is that one app will be able to run on all Windows platform, including Windows Phone, etc. No more full screen, universal apps can be windowed. Bringing back to the start menu has given the traditional Windows desktop prominence again to help merge the Windows 8 style modern apps from Windows Store with the traditional desktop. Windows 10 can now run the newly renamed universal apps in Windows on the desktop as though they were any other desktop app. So let's see how it looks like. Very useful. It can have that snap assist facility. The snapping feature, which automatically resizes windows on the desktop to fill part or all the screen, has been enhanced, allowing tiling of windows, snapping side by side, an array of new layouts to including virtual multi-desktop modes to try to help computer and tablets users be more productive with both universal apps and traditional desktop Windows app. So that is being shown how it looks like. What will it run? Windows RT did. Windows 10 will run on most things that Windows 8 can run on. That includes almost any new PCs bought in the last couple of years, but will exclude some older PCs as a Windows 8 requires a 64-bit processor. So is Windows RT dead? So the look is in front of you, students. When it will be available and what will it cost. The most consumers will buy a Windows 10 with a new PCs, but for those feeling adventurous and wanting to have a poke around, Microsoft's latest and greatest company is allowing users to sign up for early previews for the software still in testing. How much the final retail edition of Windows 10 will cost, Microsoft hasn't said. Microsoft Windows 8.1 cost £100 from Microsoft, but Microsoft Windows 10 introductory discount is likely. What's in a number? Yes, Microsoft skipped from Windows 8, 8.1 to be precise, straight to Windows 10. What happened to Windows 9? Perhaps Microsoft Windows has been using base 9, so 9 is 10, or 10 is just sounds better. The Xbox 360, aka the Xbox 2, and its successor the Xbox One, aka the Xbox 3, are proof that Microsoft is happy to throw out conventional numbering when it feels like it. Terry Myerson and Joy Belfort, Microsoft's operating system group, Univille Windows 10. It's how with Windows 10 and Xbox One, gamers cannot gamers can connect and play across PC and console. See it is in action with this exclusive sneak peek of Fable Legends. So this is how Windows 10 and Xbox looks like. So students, let us sum up as we have already discussed about the Microsoft Windows journey, and we have already learned the evolution of Windows operating system from Windows 1 to Windows 10. We have already discussed in detail about the Microsoft Disk operating systems and so many things. So thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have been learned a lot by go through this session. So once again, thank you so much.